My wife did the math for me in the car on the way here to the 37th Melville High School Band Family. And my job right now is to introduce your MCs and let them go ahead and get the program started. And our two MCs for tonight is Rachel Ruggieri and Gabe Hood.
Good evening, everyone.
I'm the Gemini that won't stop talking.
And I'm the Pisces that doesn't understand his feelings. Gabriel.
Welcome to the 2019 Marching Panther Band Banquet.
We are so excited to have you guys here tonight.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank Mr. Brown for the wonderful welcome into this annual. As he said, it's the 37th annual, which means it's longer than a lot of us have been alive. I'm being honest.
Now we'll get to one of the saddest and interesting parts of the night.
We would know. This is our 4th time here.
We're going to listen to some of the seniors reflect and give speeches about their experiences in the band program.
First up is Christopher Hopwood, who has pneumonia.
Alright. Like Gabe said, I am fighting a bit of a cough right now, so work with me here. So for my senior speech, I'd like to provide a list of thank yous. First, I'd like to thank my mother. My mom has had 3 kids go to the band program, spanning a little over a decade. And I want to thank her for everything she's done for me and my brothers as we have gone through the program. She has always been our biggest and loudest supporter at all of our events. And I can't thank her enough for everything that she's done for us. Next, I'd like to thank all of the band directors I've had over the years. Mr. Hahn, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Brown. I want to thank all directors for how much they care about all their students. Every director I've had has shown me so much individual consideration and has gone out of their way to do stuff for me, and that has made a huge impact on my life. They aren't always easy on us, and they don't settle for good enough. But all of us students should be thankful for the high expectations that they have for us, because it shows us that they really care. I want to give a special thanks to the trumpet section. All of the upperclassmen before me set a great example. I think Jake Waco's out here somewhere. Shout out to you. And to all my fellow seniors, it's been an honor to spend the past 4 years with you guys. The underclassmen have worked hard and have made an attempt to listen to the advice that we've given you, and I appreciate that. It has been great to see you grow as people and players. Lastly, I would like to thank the band program just for giving me the platform to play music. I've been involved in a lot of things, different clubs and hobbies, but nothing has ever resonated with me the way that making music does. Playing an instrument is my favorite thing to do, and all the opportunities I've been given through the band program to make music has resulted in some of the most enriching experiences in my life to date. That concludes my senior speech, and I will never forget my time spent in the program, and I'm looking forward to finishing it out with a great concert season this year.
Good evening, everybody. You know, Mr. Kramer said something in class the other day that really kind of struck me. He said the following: the greatest part of this activity is that you get to screw around with people's emotions sometimes. Now, as funny as that sounds, I think he really is getting to the core reason of why we all love band so much. And that reason is that we get to make music. And music is extremely powerful, and it can affect people in ways that you could never possibly imagine. Having that opportunity to have that effect on people and perform has been the greatest opportunity of my high school career. The first time I opened this document to write my speech, I stared at the blank page for about 20 minutes. 4 years of memories suddenly rushed through my mind all at once, and I became very overwhelmed. It wasn't until that moment that I fully understood just how much band has meant to me through my time in this program and how much I will miss it after I'm gone. As I sat at my desk, staring at the blinking cursor on the computer, it began to set in that I wouldn't really be able to put into words the effect that this program has had on me. But I had to do my best to convey how much that this does mean to me, and how much of an impact you all have had on my life. Band has taught me so much more than simply how to play an instrument. It's taught me how to be a part of a team, how to work with others, and how to work together. And it taught me how to truly devote your time and effort to something and create something truly amazing. It will always be the little things that happen outside of rehearsals and performance that I will miss the most. Like when Mr. Brown gives me finger guns whenever he walks by me in the hallway, or when Kramer Simpson has lunch with us in the band room, or when Brown talks about the antics of his weird Uncle Frank at Christmas gatherings. Or how the flag of South Carolina has flown in the band room for the past 3 years, flowing majestically in the wind from the air ducts. And lastly, of course, the beloved ping pong table. It had many tournaments and games featuring me and Mr. Brown's many epic battles. I never thought that 4 years could go by so quickly, and now that marching band is over for me, I can't help but feel as though I took this activity for granted. The best advice I can give all of you underclassmen is to never take this activity for granted. I'd like to finish my speech with thanking both of my awesome parents for being at every single competition and being at every single performance all 4 years for me and my sister. Thank you.
Good evening. I cannot sum up my 4 years in band in this amount of time, and I'm sure you guys would like to hear a lot of the ridiculous events that happened then. But I can say for certain all the time was well spent. As a kid going into 6th grade, I knew I was going to be a part of the band in some fashion. Mostly because I knew if I wasn't in band, my father would be very disappointed in me. In band, as you go through your 7 years through the entire program, you hit moments of regret. You don't realize these moments until the end. These regrets are easy to move past, but it makes you wish that you would have taken things more seriously. Maybe talk to people sooner, or try out for like all suburban, or go to solo and ensemble more. These are examples of my regrets in band. Some advice that I can give to you guys who are in the band is to never take your time here for granted. Also, never be afraid to embarrass yourself or to accept a challenge, because in the end, it will help you grow. And my time here also couldn't have been better spent behind any other band directors like Mr. Brown, Miss Brown, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Hahn, and Mr. Alberts. These are some of the most hardworking people I've ever met. Their enthusiasm and dedication to every individual in the program is unmatched. And I know I wouldn't be the same person without them. Final shout out goes to everyone here on helping me get through high school. I couldn't have asked for a better group to be around for these last 4 years. I wish you guys the best of luck in your future marching band shows. Thank you.
If we're being honest, and I'll start with saying that I truly don't know how to start this. I've been staring at the same blank page for about a week because I have no clue what to say. Maybe it's the fact that I have a lot to say, but not exactly enough time to say it all. So for starters, I want to thank my mom and dad for always being my number one supporters. Thank you for working Vigos, because I never got around to turning in my form. And waking up early summer mornings to drive me to practice. Thank you to the entire guard for supporting my crazy day-to-day life decisions. But an even bigger thanks to 3 girls in particular, the OG guard crew, Cecilia, Mackenzie, and Kyra. We all truly have been through thick and thin, starting freshman year and encouraging each other ever since. I also want to thank Kate, although she may have graduated last year. She played such a huge role in influencing me to stick with my goals. Thanks to Lena and Nova for being the best art sponsors that I've ever met. Finally, I want to thank Brown and Kramer Although I was completely terrified of both of you showing up to my first summer rehearsal. Y'all have drama. Things were the best 4 years of my life. I couldn't and wouldn't want to change a single thing about it. I don't know what I would have done without marching band. Quite honestly, I spent most of my high school life either in the band room or on the field, spending my Friday nights at the football games, dancing and being obnoxious to hide the fact that I still have zero clue about football. Just spending most of my Saturdays with the band for competition, having guard breakfast every out. Shout out to Layla for never yelling at me when I asked for a ride. Moments like these I'm never going to forget, so the underclassmen cherish for the moments while you can, before you know you'll be standing here giving out your speech. So thank you for all the support and all the laughs I've had with you. I don't really know how to end things without saying the end, so yeah, the end.
Hi guys. Alright, this is really cliche, but I have no idea where to begin. Van has done so much for me, there's no good way to put every single detail into words on this paper. From the encouraging life lessons from Brown to the dumb inside jokes I have with my friends. I'll never be able to forget these. Which is why I was so stubborn when it came to me being diagnosed with stage 3 cancer my sophomore year. In the very beginning of my diagnosis, I vividly remember playing Irish King in class and thinking to myself, if I end up dying because of this, I want this band to play this tune at my funeral. I know it's dark, but I tend to overthink everything and prepare for the worst. Not many of you know me while I was toughing it out, but I tried my very hardest to march, even though it was near impossible. After nearly passing out every practice due to my low hemoglobin levels, Brown finally took me aside and told me not to push myself. I was very upset by this and still continued to march for as long as possible, but I ended up having to sit on a stool during the actual competitions. I never realized how much I actually had endured until you guys all had those temporary yellow ribbon patches. I knew it was kind of stupid to get so emotional over, but it was that small act of kindness that made me realize that I'm alive, not finally recovering. The kids and parents that are involved with this program have a very special place in my heart. I can't believe we've all made it, seniors.
I'm not gonna lie, these 4 years have been a roller coaster, and it hasn't been easy for me, but I've learned a lot along the way, and I know that's something everyone says, but I've learned a lot about leadership and taking charge. But I'm gonna keep this short and simple. I just want to thank a couple of people. So I want to thank Mr. Brown for always trying to make fun of me, and Mr. Kramer for always checking on me and to make sure I'm okay, and trying to teach me how to play chess but failing. My brother for encouraging me. The band parents that help us with everything, and my parents for giving me all the opportunities that they possibly can. I appreciate everything that you all have done for me. Lastly, shout out the sugar boogers out there in the back. Sophia, Linda, Kristen, Mike, and Carter. Many of you guys know that my English isn't that great. And with English being my third language, I have a pretty hard time putting the right words together. But I did come across the word determination, and that's a word I grew upon and learned for my 4 years being a part of this amazing program. Believe it or not, I never thought I'd be good enough to be a man, because ever since I was a kid, it's been a dream of mine to be able to read music. And until this day, I'm not very good at it, but lucky for me, I was handed a flag, and as long as I had somewhat decent rhythm, I could be a part of a band. I remember sitting in this room my freshman year, and remember one of Brown and Kramer's unique quotes. They said, "Become a better and stronger person than you were yesterday." And I can genuinely say that I did it. But guys, we did it. Each year we put on a great show. We were determined and became better by each practice, each run, and each play, and I couldn't trade it for anything. With all memories built, I'm going to miss David trying to identify the sweat faces on my back at the end of each practice. I'm going to miss the straight games Kramer did me to listen on the bus rides from competitions and chess. I'm going to miss accidentally dropping my flag just to do extra push-ups. And I'm going to miss some of our somewhat guard bonding games we played. And speaking of the guard, I couldn't be more proud of you guys. Thank you, Leah, Layla, and Mark, for helping us in every way possible. Thank you to my chickens. This season wouldn't have been the way it was without you. Thank you for all the laughs, all the memories, and the support we went through together. We all made somewhat major improvements from pointing our toes at our ground rules. You know who you are. I wish you ladies and Adam the best of luck for the years ahead. I hope this wonderful group of students, teachers, parents, and sponsors continue to do what they do to strive in their successes. Now, I'm not sure how the band does it, but in guard we put our hands together. So one last time. All guard in, all guard out.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. So coming in as a freshman, I never thought I would like marching band as much as I do now. Marching band allowed me to step out of my comfort zone and learn throughout the years that it doesn't really matter what people think about me. As years went on, I became more open and proud to be in band because of the great opportunities that band has brought in my life. I've learned so much from band class, where I automatically get a 95%, rather than any other class where I have to work to get an A. I will never forget the hard work and dedication from spending the whole summer at school that band has taught me. Brown, I think I'll miss you making fun of me all the time. And Kramer, I'll always remember the hour-long lectures you give me when I'm freaking out about something. Thank you to the clarinets for putting up with me. I'll always cherish the laughs we've had together and the memories we've made, and I enjoy watching you all grow. And I'm excited for the concert season ahead. I want to give a big thanks to my parents and family for supporting me, sometimes even more than I did myself. Without you guys, I wouldn't be standing here today. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to meet and get to know everyone in band. Even if we've only said like one word, I'm sure you know me as the loud girl who always has something to say. But thankfully, band is a place where you can express yourself and probably get made fun of, but in a loving way. I hope all of you underclassmen don't take these years for granted because they really do go by too fast. Thank you.
I didn't want to start this out super depressing like I know a lot of people probably are tonight, but there's a huge thank you I've been meaning to give for about 6 years now. I know this isn't exactly high school related, but I want to thank Miss Brown for being the first person in my life to ask me if I was okay. I remember the day like no other. I remember bawling my eyes out in her class because I was so depressed, and she sat with me for her entire lunch break just to comfort me. I'm sorry I waited so long, thank you. But I wanted this moment to be special, and I want everyone here to recognize that these teachers are so much more than these teachers. Not only Mr. Brown, but Mrs. Brown, but Mr. Brown and even Kramer, even though he can be a little awkward sometimes. I can't even count how many times I've sat in the office crying while Kramer gave me life advice as a freshman. And if I'm being completely honest, I just want Brown and Kramer to know that you guys are the reason why I'm still here today. The band program has done so much for me. I walked in my freshman year being told that all females who have ever come into low brass have been bullied out, and that terrified me. And every time I was actually made fun of, the section always made sure to tell me that everything was okay and they actually liked me, I think, maybe, I don't really know. And every time I've ever walked in or near the band room and I was upset, I can't even begin to count how many people had asked me if I was doing okay that day. The band room has become my second home, if not my first. It's where I come to feel accepted and appreciated when others may not make me feel this way outside of the band kids. And when I leave, I hope that everyone who comes through the band program will treat others the same way. Move around, be friendly, but most importantly, express your love for each other, because I promise it makes your years in high school so much better.
All right, I'm gonna try not to cry, so bear with me on this one.
So honestly, band is hands down the best part about high school for me. It's one of the only reasons I actually really enjoyed high school. However, band wasn't always something that I loved. Freshman year, I was really depressed and I always felt like I was alone. To me, it seemed like I didn't belong in band and that I didn't have any friends and the upperclassmen were always constantly criticizing me. This wasn't really anybody's fault but my own. In second semester, freshman year, we were making a schedule for next year. I almost didn't come back for sophomore year. And then my brother, who played trombone here and graduated in 2016, he convinced me to stay for another year, only because he jokingly called me a loser for wanting to quit. At least I hope it was a joke. So I ended up staying for sophomore year, and then junior year came. Junior year was really when things started to get better for me, which is kind of surprising since junior year is supposed to be the most stressful year of your high school career. My grades were improving, I wasn't feeling so down all the time, and I finally felt like I belonged in the band room. And that feeling of belonging hasn't left since. I have two pieces of advice for you underclassmen. The first piece is to be yourself and know that you belong in the band room. Don't waste your years thinking that you don't belong like I did, because trust me, everyone in honor band belongs in the band room. My other piece of advice is to enjoy your few remaining years in band, because it will fly by. I didn't listen to the past seniors when they told me this, and I still regret it to this day. To my family, especially my parents, thank you for supporting me in every way you guys could. To the trumpet section, especially the seniors, thank you for making me feel like I belong in the section. And then to Brown and Kramer, thank you for believing in me and teaching me more about life than any other teacher at Melville ever did. And to everyone, thank you all for being your goofy selves every day and making band something I will never forget. I couldn't imagine what my life would be like today if I had chosen to quit after freshman year.
Wow, I feel that hate from here. Hi everyone, for those of you who don't know me, and I don't see how you would because I am very loud and I'm everywhere, my name is Gabe, and it's very nice to see all of you. Band has always been fun, and although I wasn't always there because of homework or mental health or any other reason, I really did try my best to make it to everything I could. And I also did try my best to keep my grades up so I could stay in band too. However, in my junior year, I was hit with a huge depression. I didn't want to do anything with my life, and I was so unmotivated that I didn't want to go on. Band is one of those things that can really bring some motivation to a person. For me, it's especially marching band because it gets a lot of adrenaline pumping. All of my friends and people who I talk to and be nice and sassy with, you guys really do make me happy and bring this kind of motivation that I see in my current day life. I would also like to thank my squad that's right over here and my section, the brass, the best section in my opinion, for helping me through these downs. I recently started therapy, and if you guys haven't noticed, I've developed a lot of interpersonal skills. I'm better at talking through problems whenever something goes wrong instead of saying whatever and moving on. And I'd like to share a few things with you guys that I've learned through my 4 years in high school. I want the underclassmen to not be afraid of asking for help. Brown said this recently in one of his classes about understanding music theory. It's okay to ask for help with things that you don't know. Bottling up your feelings and other negative behaviors aren't working. It's kind of really dangerous to yourself, and you need to talk about your problems. I really worry about you guys, and I wish the best for all of you. Brown and Kramer are always there for you guys. Kramer has given our group a lot of life advice, and it's more like said, life advice. And Brown is always giving you weird analogies to golf, and today it was horseshoes. If you need help, the upperclassmen are also here. We're not as scary as you think. Well, maybe I am, but the rest of us aren't. It's okay to not know what you want to do in life, and you may change your mind about going to college, and that's okay, I promise. And keep in mind that you're never alone in this. Everyone else is feeling the exact same thing, and you can always go ask them. In the words of Karina, songwriter, there's nothing wrong with you. I know what you're going through. That's how I used to be, so trust me. We're all teenagers. Most of us are teenagers. So it's okay to live a little. Never take anything for granted and don't hold grudges because they eat at you the most. You are not broken or a horrible person for making mistakes as long as you grow from them. You are the best person you can ever be. Trust me. Everything will be okay, I promise. And most of all, love band, because the fun memories you make here will be the ones that you remember the most, such as the winning grand champs on our last competition in Sullivan my freshman year. Thank you.
So, the very first time that I got on the field in full uniform, my very first thought was, wow, this is hot. Oh, wow, this is uncomfortable. Those complaints very quickly turned into thoughts of just, wow, this is so cool, and wow, this is fun. All the way until just a few weeks ago, it was, wow, this is the last time. 4 years is not a lot of time, and in this case, I feel it isn't enough time. I have created many, many memories with many different people in the band, from wiping the floor with everyone here at ping pong, to every breakfast that I had with the trumpets, even to try to figure out if the trumpets knew what a line was. I've enjoyed every moment that I've spent in this band. Band has meant so much to me that through most of my high school career, I would base my schedule around when I had band next. For example, I'd be like, oh, only 1 hour till band, just gotta get through this until I'm in band. And it's because band has been the only place and the only group of people that I've truly felt comfortable and that I can see myself around. Once I walk into the band room, I know that I can be myself, even if it's just me making random noises or screaming for no reason. I'm not sorry. I have created many relationships and friendships that I know are going to last for a very long time. So I would give a shout out to them. Thank you all for making me laugh constantly and for making me always have a smile on my face. To the underclassmen, don't let your time in band go to waste. Cherish it and do something with every minute of it because it goes by faster than you believe it will. I love you all. Let's have a great concert season.